Techie Brezza, the Citybird SUV.
Well, change of plans as they won the toss and batted first, but it's not quite a change of fortune. Top order once again fails for the Punjab Kings, and all they manage is 142 this time. Sans the heroics of the likes of Ashutosh Sharma and Shashank Singh, and the Titans with their extra spin certainly you think are in the front seat at half time. So on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout. Questions asked of the surface and of the batting performance by Tom Moody, Mitch McClenaghan, Wasim Jaffer, running out of breath almost.
He's exhausted, aren't you?
What a game this is. Yeah. Thrilling game. But no, this must be really frustrating Punjab Kings dugout at this point, Wasim, with the kind of repeated batting failures from the top. Explain that first.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you've won the toss, you've chose to bat first, you obviously want to post a big total. So, yeah, they've got to blame themselves. I thought Prap Simran gave them a decent start, but he should have kicked on and got much bigger score than that. I thought he should have taken a lot more responsibility there.
Okay.
Couple of...
I'm interested you say that though with Prap, because they can always look at that scorecard and think, look at the big guns. Big guns are just not coming through. Livingston and now Russo in place of Best. So it's not working.
Definitely those two as well. And Jitesh, again, not firing. So when you've got so many players who are out of form, not scoring runs, then obviously you get days like this.
How would you sum up that batting performance?
Very poor, extremely poor and exposed with their spin management. 7 for 68 spin off 12 overs. Absolute disaster.
Yeah.
And it was the way that players got out against spin that would be frustrating me the most. It looked reckless. Yeah, I get the fact that you need to be proactive and busy. Yes, they're a good spin attack, but they would have gone into this contest knowing that that would have been the challenge, and they would have gone in knowing that they would have had certain plans that would have suited their own game styles individually, and it just looked like complete meltdown.
Their reluctance, sorry Mitch, so they're reluctant to play Sikandar Raza as well. Again, knowing that they're going to face spin, Liam Livingston against spin is not one of the best batters. Riley Rosso as well.
That's a call they would have had to make before
they
knew the opposition. So they had to go into this game with Raza ahead of Livingston, you're saying? Or Raza ahead of...
Or even Rosso. I mean, the Sikandar Raza, he gives you that bowling option as well.
But on the flip side, this looks like the Titans have done a masterclass by playing an extra spinner and those returns.
I thought they were brilliant. I was just going to follow up what Tom said with that. We always talk about Rashid Khan. He bowled beautifully again tonight. Noor Ahmed again was quality. Very Misley, those two. But it was great to see Sai Kishore in a different role. Generally, he's come as the impact player, and he's bowled at the top. And we've seen him bowl a lot of arm balls, particularly to the right-handers, and he's been very effective. But tonight we got to see Sai Kishore as a genuine left-arm orthodox. We got to see the assets that he has. You know, his height and he gets that drop on the ball, and he got them to straighten down the line, and he looked challenging. And if it wasn't for that last over, a couple of well-struck boundaries, which were needed. Hapik Bra was hitting it nicely towards the end as well. We would have seen him go for the same kind of economy as well. So 4 for 33.
That too was just taken down in the last over, otherwise.
I thought it was great. Better. It was nice to see him in that role.
It's a coach's dream as well. For a player you started with, left out for balancing the rest of your team. It's not like he did an awful lot wrong. And then his last game was on the 21st of April, so you've almost gone through a month, or 21st of March. So he's almost gone through a month now with nothing, and you bring him in because you think today's the day I'll need the extra spinner, and he gives you these returns. Tells you something?
Yeah, it does tell you that he's ready and he's up for it. He's had some very good domestic returns over the last few years down in Chennai. So he's no foreigner when it comes to performing under pressure in big games. And there's always been a good word around his game and what he's capable of doing. And I think players like him understand that when you do have two elite spinners as your overseas players, that you are going to come in as an impact type spinner when the matchup's right against the opponent, when the conditions also suit. So you nearly set your mindset around that. And I sort of take myself back to the the early days when we had both Rashid and Mohammad Nabi, and Mohammad Nabi was always that person that would come in for certain games, for certain oppositions, and he, as long as that was communicated to him, which it was, he could get his head around his own preparation for those opportunities and make them count.
Yeah, what I found interesting also was we're looking at this, the 4 wickets he got. It's 4 domestic batters who played a lot of Sai Kishore over time. You think sometimes the spinner will come in because of a weakness against the overseas. But with Ashutosh and Shashank in this form, I don't think they've been subject to this much spin. We touched upon that. This is high quality spin. Was that a weakness that you saw coming with Shashank and Ashutosh not being able to take down the spin?
I mean, I know Shashank a little bit because he played in Mumbai. He's not the best of the batters against spin, as far as I know. And he did survive that catch at long off, which didn't reach an over before, and then he got out again. So it was very well deceptive bowling from Sai Kishore, bowling almost at 82 or 81, holding the pace, and then obviously the ball not reaching even to Ashutosh. So I thought he bowled really well. Used his pace, he used his height, and that drop, which Mitch said, was fantastic.
Different surface though? Is it playing differently today?
I think 2 wrist spinners, you would expect them to have a bit of purchase on any kind of wicket, but I don't think Sai Kishore spun the ball that much. It just came with the arm a little bit,
Just enough.
And in the second half, you would expect with a dew to come in a little bit. I don't think it's going to spin that much.
Yeah, it definitely looks slower. Fraction lower, but it didn't look like a shocker. Didn't look like I see this wicket and I have to play 3 spinners. Looks like still a decent track. So I think what Tom alluded to is it was some very poor batting in that middle phase, which saw them only scramble through to 142, which is not going to be a defendable total.
They probably changed their strategy to fast bowling, to strengthening spin, knowing this is a big ground, and Sai Kishore is a quality bowler. It's just that they wanted to play 2 spinner before, but going with a different strategy in this game.
If this was one of the teams who are between 1 and 5 right now on the points table, I think it's straightforward chase. Or if this was the Titans team of the last 2 years, I'd also say straightforward chase. But is this a straightforward chase for this Gujarat Titans batting?
Not if history serves us correctly with what we've seen with Punjab games recently. There's been a lot of close ones, and particularly the opponent that they're playing tonight. They've already had a thriller this year. So I think if you lose Shubman Gill at the top, I think suddenly that total of 144 to chase down, suddenly you can whack another 20 or 30 on it.
I mean, this is a team that was just bundled out for 89. We're looking at the numbers for the team. You've got Gill and Sudarshan who've put up more than 200 runs this season. Miller's been injured. They've had a lot of work to do for the rest of them, and it's not numbers that you can necessarily say are reflective of a team that's dominated their first 2 seasons of the IPL.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It's poor reading, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it'll be certainly one concern, and it puts just that added pressure on Shubman Gill.
Yeah.
He'll be fully aware of the weights on him to deliver, and his determination, which you could see in his face in the field, is clearly there for him to motivate his team to get over the line.
Is it also one of those where you'd want to go hard and just not make it, not bring the opposition in it?
Do not bring the opposition into it. We saw Rajasthan chasing what was 154 or something around that, do exactly that, actually try and get themselves into the game, and at one point they looked like they were a long way behind it. So go out there as if you're chasing 180, 190 and get the job done.
If anything, their strength, Punjab, has been the all-round bowling effort. Harshal had his best game last game, even though they lost, but Rabada, Arshdeep and Sam Curran seems to captain these bowlers quite well, doesn't he, Wasim?
Yeah, he does. But the only thing I would say is Punjab doesn't have that spin strength which Gujarat had.
Right.
So if there's anything, they'll rely on Harpreet Brar, who doesn't spin the ball that much, even though he bowled well, and Liam Livingston, who's not a regular bowler. So the fast bowlers, you would expect the ball to come on nicely. And Shubman Gill, if he bats sensibly, I mean, it all depends, like Tom said, a lot depends on him.
Yep. We wait and find out. They've also played the impact card already, haven't they? Harpreet Bhatia came in as lower order batter, so if they had any temptation to want to bring in an extra spinner, looking at how Rashid and Noor bowled, that's out of the question, because no bringing in Rahul Chahar now. Maybe this was anyway something that they were happy with. Would they have would they have perhaps, if you have to just touch upon that point, would they have seen, oh, it's playing differently, maybe the spinners are enjoying themselves more, let's not bring in Bhatia, or they had no choice?
I don't think there was enough evidence there to think that it's worthy of playing another spinner, and it's not like they've got a spinner that's in form.
Sure.
I think Chahar on his day is definitely worth considering, but at the moment it's not his day.
I quite like that Kagiso Rabada as the new ball to Shubman Gill and Riddhiman Saha. In all the many things we were discussing in that bridge show in between the two games, we didn't take any outrageous picks for this game.
No.
So,
Well, mine was that Punjab would be bowled out for under 150.
I see. Right. Well, that's good because I think Tom had Sai Kishore to get 4 wickets or more, and Wasim had Shashank and Ashutosh to get out in single digits. So you would have lost.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course.
They would have been more accurate.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's get some.
I actually predicted their score 143.
You did. Yeah. All right. Now let's do
They
this
got
for the second inning.
142.
Yeah, and you don't get points for one being one off. Right. Outrageous picks and prediction. Wasim.
Gujarat to win in 17th over.
Okay. Mitch.
Rabada's going to take a wicket in his first over.
I really want to stay on the show and see if that happens. Tom.
I think Shubman Gill is going to be out for 12 or less balls.
All right. You just said win in 17. Do you want to give me like an outrageous pick?
Shubman to get 50 plus.
Okay. Sorry. Remind me of this again.
That's not outrageous. Is that outrageous?
Why don't you make it 65?
It's got to be
plus?
50 off X amount of balls.
Yeah, 50.
It's
Okay.
usually been around 24
Come on,
balls.
Wasim. You dominated
For
impact zone yesterday.
for those top batters, the benchmark is, wasn't it
50 off
75?
24. Yeah, or 70 plus.
Shubman Gill to stay not out till the end.
That's
that's
better.
better.
That's more like it.
So we're going the complete opposites here.
It's going to have to be 80.
What is it that you said? Shubman to get
12 or less.
12 balls.
Oh, your 12 or less thing. Okay. Awesome. We'll leave it there. Thank you very much to Tom Moody, Mitch McClenaghan, and Wasim Jaffer. Pick up the chat at the end of this double-header day where we would have seen significant movement for the teams that ended up on the right side of the results. So we'll review it all on Maruti Suzuki Arena Presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout. Download the mobile app if you haven't already. Have you covered with everything happening from the IPL, the world of cricket, and so much more. Let's see if Punjab can give us another thriller. We'll see at the end of it.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.